Hey y'all, Monk Joseph here with the Broken Buddha. I gotta remake a video real quick because it got kind of choppy. We're gonna talk about the Vajrasattva empowerment and the warnings and details. So I'll jump right into it. If you're ever studying Tibetan Buddhism, they will try to fast track you into both Guru Yoga and the Vajrasattva empowerment. And if you've ever seen in any Tibetan Buddhist like scripture or text, you have to have the highest yoga, the tantric yoga empowerment, or the highest empowerment to do a ritual or practice. This is what they're talking about, and it will give you the ability to fast track your training and enlightenment. But at the same time, what it does, and I've only seen this in one scripture, but I did verify it with a lama who runs 3-year retreats, among other people. But when you do the Vajrasattva ritual or empowerment, I say empowerment or ritual because if you are spiritually blessed enough to be able to do it without the empowerment on your own, then it has the same effect, and you should take it just as seriously. And what it's going to do is it's going to put you in a spiritual straw. And at one end of that straw is hell, and at the other end of that straw is enlightenment. And it gives you like a do or die, no looking back, turning back kind of approach towards your enlightenment training, but also it does give you access to some of those advanced rituals, which when you're studying Tibetan Buddhism, there are some trap doors, but if you have the karmic traces to dodge them and to not fall into them, you'll be fine. But this is not this, in my opinion, this is not one of them. But speak on those things, one person's trapdoor is another person's enlightenment. Look at there's a practice that was banned by the Dalai Lama because it doesn't matter. But I understand why it was banned. But a trap door like that will only get used by your ego. So if you were to look at that practice really as a Buddhist, be like, that's not Buddhism, but big ups to that guy, for doing his thing. Um, and then if you do fall for it, then that's just you like chasing your ego and pretending to do Buddhism. And it's actually kind of funny if you think about it like that. But this one I don't think it is necessarily that. 'Cause like I said, this is the part of the Vajrayana training, or yana, if you will. I don't know, because there's 9 yanas. Sorry, I'm getting off topic here. But yeah, this is part of Vajrayana. So if you're doing Vajrayana, you got to get your Guru Yoga. You got to do your Vajrasattva empowerment, which again you can do on your own, just like Guru Yoga. When you're doing Guru Yoga, this is why there is like either the one within Buddhism or just in general, right? So you could say when you're taking refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha that you're taking refuge in, what he experienced as waking up, or it can be just you're taking refuge in the concept that there is something to be awoken and uncovered within yourself. So you can do it both ways. And I thought about this a lot recently. So if you were doing Guru Yoga with a person at a monastery, technically, if they're not a Buddha or understand Dharma or experience Dharma with themselves, I mean, you can only take refuge in the Sangha. I mean, but it's still better than nothing. And it's a step in the right direction. So just be careful when they're trying to rush you into doing it with their guru, because all the scriptures and texts are like, be careful picking your guru. Take time thinking about who it's going to be. Meet other ones. Don't just take the first one. These are all things that are in the scriptures. But even though they know that, they teach this, they'll still be like, no, come on and do Guru Yoga really, really quick. And it's like, let me think about that for a second. Um, so, just take your time, think. That's always, guys, the biggest key in Buddhism is pay attention. You can sum up all of Buddhism into 2 words: pay attention. So, there's that. So, don't do the Vajrasattva empowerment or ritual if you don't think it's worth the risk to potentially end up in hell, and you're not going to gun through. You're not like that. You're kind of a lazy person. Like, there's no way I'm going to finish the training. Just maybe let it go. Don't do it. Find another path. There's 84,000 paths to enlightenment. Find a different one if you don't think it's for you. If it is, at least go into it knowing this proper warning and details. Yeah, and if you do even make it most of the way towards your enlightenment training, you'll have some pretty awesome, beautiful experiences. But it can, once you do something like that, you're asking for help to experience truth. I mean, it's one of those things where you might regret it. And I would say the way that it can change your life, something like that, maybe not that one specifically, but the way some of these things can change your life. I mean, it can put you in a hell, and you're not going to experience anything but truth in reality. But having those training wheels taken off, maybe more than you can handle, and you really need to think about this before you do something like that. Again, I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking the religion, the empowerment, the ritual, none of it. I am telling you that you need to pay attention when you're doing stuff like this. All right. So that's it. There is a follow up to this. If you want to see what the mantra is, I did do a display of the mantra, or a demo of the mantra. So yeah, I had to redo this video because it was just too choppy for whatever reason. I'm supposed to remake it or something. So here you have it. Vajrasattva ritual mantra empowerment warning and details. But happy training, and I wish you the best of luck on your enlightenment journey. Thanks for stopping by. Peace and blessings.